No,
Everyone's okay. So
everyone is okay.
there's obviously been a lot of scrutiny in the couple of days since the bars have gone.
Hmm.
Is it fair to say, though, that the greatest scrutiny is coming from within at the moment, from yourself and from the coaches, to get the team to where you want them to be?
No, I think scrutinies are normal. I'm in football for too long time for not to be surprised with scrutinies and for not to be surprised with opinions and critics and anything else. I'm not surprised. I'm not worried. I didn't read many, but for sure I have to agree with some, for sure, and I have to disagree with some others, for sure. But I have a job to do, and I know where I want to go, and I know the steps I have to give, and I also know that when you want to build something different, then the players are adapted and the players are comfortable, and has been the philosophy for years. It's more difficult. The easiest thing for a new manager is to arrive in a club and not to change and go in the same direction, or to be even in a better situation, which is keep something and buy a couple of players better than what you had previously, but go in the same direction. Everything is mechanic. The dynamic is known by everybody. If you want to do something different, there is a period where I understand that if the results are not good, people put some question marks in the direction you go, but it's up to me to follow the direction or not to follow. If somebody expect me to play against Fulham because we need to win, we need the victory. But if somebody expecting me to play against Fulham with a low block, 9 players behind the ball line, waiting for Fulham to make a mistake, to score a goal in a counter-attack, and to go home with 3 points, very, very happy, I'm not going in that direction.
Say you agree with some of the scrutiny. What bits do you agree with? What bits have been...
I didn't read, but I can guess that I have to agree with some. I have to agree with some critics. I have to agree with some opinions. That's obvious. That's obviously. But I didn't read, to be fair. But I have to say that I accept opinions and I accept critics. And as I was saying, for sure I will disagree with some, but for sure I will agree with some others.
Is it a surprise to see the team where they're at the moment, based on what you're seeing on the training ground and what you saw in pre-season? Is it surprising?
Look, the first thing I have to say is that we lost nothing. And you like scrutinies and you like to compare things. And we didn't finish third in the Champions League group. We didn't go relegated to the Europa League, and we didn't finish third in the Premier League. We lost 1 match in the Premier League. The other 5 contenders to the title, all of them lost a match except Liverpool, that goes top of the league. And in the Champions League, we lost a match that we cannot lose. I agree completely that we cannot lose that match. But we were not relegated to the Europa League. So if you like scrutinies, if you like to make comparisons, you have to wait. You have to wait because this is not the way you start, it's the way you finish. You want to start good, go good, and finish good. That's the perfect picture. but between start bad and finish well, or start well and finish bad, I prefer to start bad and finish well. But I agree, the perfect situation is to start well, to go well, and to finish well. I agree.
And you talk about, you said before the game in midweek, you used Real Madrid as a comparison. They said they bought one player and they pretty much kept what you had there, and that's not what you're trying to do.
No, Real Madrid, I tell you what Real Madrid did. Real Madrid started the season and changed the system and changed the philosophy. Last year, Real Madrid was playing 4-3-3, was playing in a certain model of play, and they started the preseason and they changed. They were playing 4-4-2, they changed players from position, and after a couple of, I'm not saying bad results because they are winning matches, but after a couple of matches where they change. So now they play the same they played last year, they play the same system. Cristiano is going back to the position where he beat the record of goals, and now they have Isco and Bale, but everything is the same. I'm not going. He's not a critic. I think he's clever by Carlo, and I'm happy if things go very well for them. But I don't like. No, the situation is pure. I don't like the way Chelsea was playing in the last couple of years. The club doesn't like. We want to change. We have the players with the profile to change. We want to play a different style. The past is history. Even my past, I always told that I'm here like I'm just arrived. I don't want to be protected because of what I did here in the past. Matters absolutely nothing. The profile of the players change. When people in the other day after Everton, some of your colleagues were asking me if I would like to have Didier in my squad, if I miss Didier. That's history. That's a fantastic history, and he is probably the top example of a fantastic history Chelsea had in the previous years, but we want to change. And I'm going to change. And I don't want to defend as a low block. I don't want central defenders playing in midfield. I don't want the team to play with a low block and to play long balls direct to the lonely striker. I don't want to do that. I agree, we must have better results. I agree at this level, some clubs have, some don't, and we are not the kind of club that is going to wait 2, 3, 4, 5 years to have a team. So we have to accelerate the process, but I'm not going to change. We want this team to play in a certain way, and that's the way we are going to work.
And if it means for a difficult few weeks until you get it right, so be it.
Of course.
Thank you.
Jose, how long do you think this process could take? As you were saying,
I have no idea. Football is not mathematic. Probably tomorrow we win 3-0 and everybody becomes perfect. Or maybe tomorrow we lose, and because it's my first defeat in Chelsea at home for the Premier League after 4 years and 200 matches, I don't know, is a big story. I don't know. When I saw my team play against Bayern Munich, I thought the team was brilliant. And when you play like that against the champions of Europe, you think you can do it immediately. But I think it's also part of a process, this instability. When a team is solid, is compact, is made, is an ended product, you keep a certain stability in performances. When you are a kind of player very mature, with a big personality, adapted to the moments of pressure, you keep a stability. From 0 to 5, you play, you are a 4, and sometimes you are a 5, and a few times you are a 3. When you live in this formation process, a player can be a 5 and can be a 1. And I don't want my players to be 5 and to be 1. I want to rely on the players. So we have a work to do. You know, I know that the work I have to do doesn't sell papers. What sells papers is or big victories or big defeats. A normal process doesn't sell papers, but it's the only way I know is to work, is to believe in my work, is to believe in the players and in the players' work, and go and wait for the results to arrive. I don't know another way.
I suppose the difficulty is during this process of change, you've got to keep winning as well. Because
I know.
if you do lose a few more,
I know.
so how hard is that?
It's hard, but I hope you have the same speech and the same kind of dialogue with the other managers and not just with me. You know, for example, did you say every press conference to the Chelsea managers after me, to Carlo, to Scolari, to Andre, to Benitez, to Avram, to did you tell them every press conference? Jose never lost a match at home. So you cannot. Did you say that? So that's fair. So that's fair. So that's fair. That's fair. So I understand. That's what sells papers. You know. Yeah. No problem. That's fair. That's fair.
Did you? What do you do to raise the spirits of your younger and newer players when you've gone?
For example, today, instead of do a tactical work like I like to do before the match, instead of do set pieces and have everything clear and automatic for tomorrow, I did a funny session. I didn't train. I didn't train in a tactical way. I did training session. We play handball, we play basketball, we play the goalkeepers together with us and the goalkeepers scoring goals in the air. I make a funny session where everybody was smiling, where everybody was laughing, and I think that's important at the time, because the way sometimes is not to massacre the players with tactical questions, with the pure working situations, when probably mentally you are not open for that or happy enough for that. So I think was a good session for them, and that's the only way I know is to work hard when you can work hard, and keep the spirit high, and make the players understand the same situation I was trying to explain to you. Last year they finished third. The year before they finished sixth or fifth or something like that. In this moment, our situation in the Premier League is completely unclear. We can finish first, we can finish last, but the situation is open. In the Champions League, last season, they made history by being the first team, European champion, to be relegated to the Europa League. And this year we lost a match that we don't like to lose, that we cannot lose, that in my career was the first time I lost a match in the group phase at home in the debut of the group phase. But we have 15 points to go. So if after the group phase finish we go relegated to the Europa League, okay, that's sad, that's bad. I would say that's unacceptable, because I don't accept that. I want always to raise the bar, and I think we have to qualify. But if we qualify, this defeat means just the defeat, nothing else. Because if we go to Swindon and we lose against Swindon, the Capital Cup is over, finished for us. But we lost at Everton, and the Premier League is not over, and we lost against Basel, and the Champions League is not over.
Rex.
You mentioned other managers, but this still remains the worst start for Chelsea in a decade. You said you weren't worried earlier this week.
No.
Are you worried about it now?
No, I'm worried because I lost. I'm worried because I don't want to lose. But again, this is the way it ends. It's not the way it starts.
Is it too soon to think of talk about a crisis?
Crisis of what? Syria? Chelsea.
Winning.
No, for me no crisis. For me no crisis. For me 2 bad results.
What do you think is the problem? Is the problem, do you think, is that you don't know who your best starting 11 is?
Probably yes, because as I was saying before, the pitch makes decisions. The pitch makes decisions, and the same way what I did in this club in the past means nothing. The same way what players did in the past means nothing. And for me, the only way I know in football, the way I work, is that the pitch speaks. And what the players do on the pitch, not yesterday or 1 year ago or 10 years ago, what they do in the last match and what they do in the last training sessions where I analyze, that's the way I make decisions. Some players with their performances, they say to me, this is my place, don't touch me because this is my place, the way I play, this is my place. And some other players, they don't perform in a way where they can take doubts out of me. So for some positions, I would say no doubt this player in this moment is the first choice. In some other positions, I need more information to decide well. And the information is not based on stats, is not based on past, it's based on what we do in the day by day and what they do in the pitch. I always try to be honest with the players and with myself, and this is the only way I know. So probably you are right, but that's a normal process that I've been through in every club.
Jose, it's one of those positions, your strikers. Will Fernando start on Saturday?
I'm not going to tell you, but you can feel that sometimes one plays, sometimes play another one, sometimes one is on the bench, sometimes another one, sometimes one stays at home, and other times another one stays at home.
Is there a regret at all that you let Lukaku go? Do you ever
No.
wish he was...
No, not at all. I think Lukaku is good in Everton if he is going to play every game. And I think that's good for his future and for his future at Chelsea. So I don't regret.
You said there was a lack of confidence, especially with some of your striking options so far. Can you explain why that would be? The lack of confidence in your players?
I have not lack of confidence in my players.
No, not you having lack of confidence in them, but they have a lack of confidence in themselves, possibly.
I don't think so. I really don't think so. I don't think it's a question of lack of confidence.
Could Lukaku be recalled in January if you
No.
wanted him?
No.
Jose, just one question about Qatar, the World Cup. How inconvenient would it be to have a World Cup in January?
After the pressure you put on myself with your stats, I have no time to think about Qatar.
Okay, just one final one at the back then.
Jose, I was just going to get your thoughts on Saturday's game with Fulham. What you expect from them as an opponent?
Fulham.
Yeah.
I think they have a very good experienced manager. I think they have a very experienced team with players completely adapted to the Premier League. They know everything about the Premier League. They know everything about derbies. They know everything. You know, a midfield with Parker and Sidwell. This is a great example of experience at this level. They know how to play. They know how to play. They have talented players in attack from the sides, in the center. Berbatov, bent fast. I think they are a difficult opponent, and the last results at Stamford Bridge, they also show that it's not easy. You know, I think 7 matches. I think they drew 4 times at the bridge. So the situation is close, and it's going to be a difficult match for us. We need points. They also need points. They have different objectives than we have, but they also need some to get some points. So between the needs of the two teams, plus the local derby that is always a local derby, I think it will be a proper Premier League match.
Okay, one last question at the very back.
Just a quick question on one of your former clubs. Inter Milan very close to taking over, and Mr. Moratti, he said he won't be carrying on as president. What are your memories of your treble win with him, and what sort of an impact has he had at that club?
I think everybody that is involved in football in a certain way, or professionally, or as a supporter, you confuse Moratti and Inter and Moratti. It's the same. It's the same. When you speak about Moratti family, it's Inter, and when you speak about Inter, it's Moratti family. Mr. Massimo Moratti, his father before, the brothers, the sons. So they are the same thing. In this moment, if a family completely in love with Inter, because Inter is part of that family since decades and decades, decided to sell the club, is because he knows that in this moment probably is what the club needs for the future of the club, because I'm sure Mr. Moratti is the first one to think about his club. And as a manager, I had so many happy moments, but probably the moment number one was to feel the happiness that gentleman felt when finally he won the Champions League. So I love him. I love him really, and I think he did for sure the best for his Inter.
Okay, guys, thanks. Let's turn the cameras off and move to print.